Hey, welcome back. It's the Dave Bowman Show. Power Talk 1360, 1280, Modesto, Stockton, iHeartRadio. No earthquakes yet today, right? Well done, people. PowerTalk1360.com. Keep clicking. Every click counts. Every click helps prevent earthquakes. Just go to PowerTalk1360.com and click away. You will help stop earthquakes, save lives. How many other websites out there are doing that? Zero. Not one. Check it out. Well, there is one other one, PowerTalk1280.com. Sorry. Either one of those will do it. Welcome back. We're talking stolen valor today. Chris Vieira is here. Chris, good afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back. Chris is actually the former soldier, the veteran, who, as it turns out, confronted the fake soldier at Delta College on Monday and ends up getting arrested for that eventually after the fake soldier is sent home, comes back on Thursday with an American flag upside down on his shoulder, as well as some other uniform problems. But clearly Joe Scott is a fraud. Fake. What's this guy's full name? Joseph Michael Matthew. Joseph Matthew Scott. Complete total fraud. If you know this guy, you need to be mocking him. You don't need to encourage him along. You need to say to him, what the hell is wrong with you? And, explain to him that what he's doing is theft.
Yes, absolutely is.
Joe is in Modesto. Let's talk to him. Joe, good afternoon and welcome to the Dave Bowman Show.
First off, Dave and Chris, I'd like to say thanks for serving our country. Much gratitude extended to you both.
Thank you very much.
My question is, I was under the understanding that it was illegal for people to impersonate military personnel or officials, and it's a pretty big concern because if you got people walking around in military uniform, the assumption is that that's a go-to person in case something were to happen. You look at them as being safe and protective. If people are walking around in uniform, it seems like there'd be an air of danger around that too.
Absolutely.
Well, why do you think that it is illegal?
Well, I know that impersonating a police officer is illegal.
Right. I can assure you that it's not illegal. I can assure you that. Whether or not it should be is another argument, but it is in fact not illegal.
That's too bad.
I hear that's debatable.
Appreciate the call, man. I got your. It's 6-3. The court decided this case 6-3 with some interesting. The hardline conservatives, Alito, Scalia, and Thomas dissented, but it's. Tell you, folks, it's about Joe's in Oakdale. Let's talk to him real quick. Joe, good afternoon. Welcome to the Dave Bowman Show.
Hey, good afternoon. Hey, I think what you did is all right, buddy. Don't let it bug you. But did you ask the policemen what they'd feel like if somebody portrayed them?
Yes, I did.
What'd they say?
They said it's illegal to pose as an officer, but not as a person of the military unless he was somehow profiting from it.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that? I just don't get how they can't see the. I guess because you're not supposed to have a military.
There's a specific reason for it, Joe, that we'll get to here in just a few minutes. I promise you that I will not leave you hanging on that. All right.
Okay. Thanks,
all right. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Steve. He's in Sirius. Steve, good afternoon. Welcome to the Dave Bowman Show.
Two quick things. Since I train both National Guard and SMR soldiers, the line that gets crossed in the law is this one. It's not a uniform until part of it is DUI, distinguishing unit insignia. If that were not the case, we'd be arresting the police for impersonating military people. They are civilian police. They're not military police, so they shouldn't be wearing uniforms either. But if they're not wearing distinguishing unit insignia, that's not a uniform. Because you see people on construction sites in camos all the time.
Right, but Steve, he was.
Really
Steve,
I run into this once in a while.
Steve, he was. He was wearing a 101st Airborne patch. He was wearing the 101st Airborne patch.
Yeah, he was wearing a unit insignia.
If he's not an airborne guy, that's illegal then.
He's
impersonating a soldier.
I hate to do this, but I got to disagree. The Supreme Court made it very clear that that's not illegal.
I was under the assumption that it was under the
Geneva Convention. If he's not an airborne soldier and he's wearing distinguishing unit insignia, the law says it is illegal.
Which law?
That's the line we have to cross.
Which law? Because I'm telling you, that's not what the Supreme Court said in a 6-3 decision. I guarantee you that's not what they said. And there's a reason for it.
That's what the units are currently running on, then.
As well they should. I don't have a problem with the units doing that. I don't have a problem with the units saying, hey, this is what classifies the uniform. And the consideration might be as simple as we're giving ourselves, how do we know what's fake?
Right.
How do we, I mean, that's part of it, because really, you're going to need two out there that's, wandering around. He may not know some guy with an E8 uniform. Well,
there are codes on the books that do say that it is illegal to still wear the uniform according to the Geneva Convention, because we are supposed to be identified as military, as legal combatants as far as the Geneva Convention goes.
Even when considering some instances of defamation or fraud, the court has instructed that falsity alone may not suffice to bring the speech outside the First Amendment. The statement must be a knowing and reckless falsehood.
Well, I would say claiming to be in the Ranger School might be knowing and reckless.
Well,
I mean, if you get near one of those guys.
Yeah, part of this, and there's some frustrations here, folks, and I feel your frustration. Believe me, if you've read my blog today at PowerTalk1360.com, you know how I feel about this. This clown needs to be taught a lesson. Now, does that mean he needs to be taken out and beat the crap out of? No, that's not what I'm saying. But the response that you just, take him aside and tell him is not going to work for these people, because, again, there's no embarrassment, there's no shame, there's no public involvement here, and there's no really. If I take this guy aside, or if Chris takes this guy aside and says to him, "Hey, you're doing this wrong," blah, 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 he comes back later, and it's as if we haven't said anything to him. This is what happens. He
did it the same week with it.
It's tried. Yeah,
yeah.
This guy got publicly shamed.
Yeah,
pulled it anyway. It's if you went on some of these organizations that do these stolen values, you'd be just blown away by some of the stuff people try to pull with this. Mm-hmm. This guy is not unusual. That's the sad part. There are people in California. By the way, this case that I just read for you is from California, where a water board member in Southern California claimed to have a Medal of Honor and a uniform and all this stuff he'd never had. And the Supreme Court, the Ninth Circuit Court, said, it's fine with us. Dave's in Modesto. Dave, good afternoon. Welcome to the Dave Bowman Show.
Hi, Dave. Yeah, I think what you just said, was the crux of the 6-3 vote with the Supreme Court. Not that the people were wearing the uniform incorrectly or with rank that they didn't earn, but that they were lying about the awards that they've been.
Right, but in doing so, they struck down the law that made wearing a uniform that you didn't earn illegal.
Oh, that
so
wearing of the uniform was included in the Supreme Court decision?
Yes, they struck down.
Are you sure?
Struck down the Stolen Valor Act of 2005.
Okay, because I thought it just meant the stolen valor of claiming that they were
struck down the whole shooting match.
Cross or the
threw it out.
Okay.
Yep. That's the problem. The problem is it's technically freedom of speech, and the court has ruled, and this is the really stupid part of this. The court has ruled that a lie is still free speech.
That's incredible. I know there's a California Penal Code 532B says that wearing a uniform is still illegal, and that is not part of the Stolen Valor Act. That's part of the Geneva Convention and the Hate Convention, or Hate Act, I mean.
Yeah, but again, supremacy, so forth and so on, and the Geneva Convention probably not applying to Delta College. Just guess.
Probably not.
Although we did arrest a guy from there for being part of the AQ, so who knows if it's going to come into play or not. What happens next to you? Where does this go now?
I've passed it on to Stolen Valor. They have all his information. They are seeking. I'm pretty sure they're seeking prosecution on him. So, they have everything.
To court though. You got arrested again.
Yeah,
you got arrested. We talked.
I got arrested. I have court on April 3rd.
April 3rd. Where? Do you know?
I'm assuming it's in Stockton at the courthouse. I'm not 100% sure on that, but
that is if I remember right, a Thursday or a Friday.
It's a Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
Gosh, it'd be just a shame if that courthouse was packed with veterans that day, wouldn't it?
That'd be so sad. They probably have to get a bigger courthouse.
It would tear me up to see a whole bunch of 150, 200 vets standing there listening to this clown say, "Yeah, he yelled at me."
Yeah.
Well, I'm a Ranger, so what? Anyway, the point being that keep me up to date on that, because that's
absolutely.
I think that's something that we can encourage folks to be a part of, and so forth and so on. All I can say to you is well done.
Thank you very much. I
know
your producer wanted me to speak a little bit on the police video.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it real quick.
Real quick.
Real
All right.
quick.
So that happened after the police. I went back to the police afterwards because I lost my buddy's SD card, and then they brought me in the room. They closed the door and they started threatening me with terroristic threats and charging me with DA things and like harassment and all that. So I pulled out my phone and I started recording, which I encourage everyone to do. Absolutely.
Yeah, they hate that.
Yeah, they do. But
Although it shouldn't be a big deal. So
it shouldn't be. I mean, if they could have it for their records, why couldn't I have it for mine?
Well, yeah, and it's so many of the police departments are going to body cameras anyway now. You'd hope that they would do that. Chris, best of luck to you.
Thank you very much,
and
sir.
Please keep me up to date. Keep Kevin up to date on what's going on. And as we get closer to that court date, let's chit chat.
Oh yeah.
Listen, if you're a veteran and you're free on April 3rd, assuming this doesn't get moved, I think that's a day to make a statement. I really, really do. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you very much.
It's the Dave Bowman Show, Power Talk, 1360, 1280, Modesto, Stockton, iHeartRadio. Stay with us back after Fox News gets you up to date right here on Power Talk, 1360 and 1280.